At this time, I will call our November meeting of the State Board of Transportation to order. I would ask our board member, Micah Gravely, if he would please give our invocation and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's stand together. Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to meet this morning, to gather together to discuss the state's business. Father God, let the work of our mouths, the work of our hands be pleasing unto you. And Father God, let us do the state's business with honor and integrity. We ask that you would bless our DOT, workers and staff, and rise this great organization. And be with our state leaders, Father, this morning, as we go about the business of the people. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will ask our executive secretary if she would please read our minutes for last meeting. And also do the roll call, sorry.
Congressional District 1, Ms. Purcell.
Present.
2, Ms. Williams.
Present.
3, Mr. McIntyre.
Present.
4, Mr. Brown. 5, Ms. Key. 6, Mr. Bowen.
Yes. Here.
Thank you. 7, Mr. Thompson. 8, Mr. Golden.
Here.
9, Ms. Dunn. 10, Mr. Boswell.
Here.
11, Mr. Lewis.
Here.
12, Mr. Snipes.
Here.
13, Ms. Lemon. And 14, Mr. Gravely.
Here.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, ma'am.
We do have a quorum, and we will proceed forward. I want to welcome everyone here this morning as we take care of the state's business, particularly with transportation. So at this time, I will ask for approval of our minutes, which was sent to each one of us through email. Do I have approval or any amendments to our minutes from last month? I have a motion. Do I have a second? Any explanations, remarks? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, likewise. The ayes carry it, the minutes are passed. We'd like to ask Mr. Albert Shelby, who is our Director of Program Delivery, to come and give us an update in regards to our December 2024 letting.
So, good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioner, and members of the board. I'm here to present the projects that the department is proposing to advertise for the December 2024 letting. So before we present the December 2024 letting, here are the current FY 2025 results. We have let a total of 103 projects in fiscal year 2025. This chart shows the number of projects by improvement type. The value of these 103 projects is approximately $802 million through the October 2024 bid award. Of the 103 projects, 102 were GDOT let with an approximate value of $797 million, and one was a local let with an approximate value of $5 million. This chart shows the dollar amount distribution by improvement type, with bridge and roadway projects making up the bulk of these types. Here are the results of the October 2024 letting. Of the 25 GDOT let contracts that were presented to the board, all were awarded. Now I'm going to discuss the projects in the December 2024 letting. We have a total of 28 projects. 27 are GDOT let and 1 is local let. The next 3 slides list these 28 projects arranged by congressional district. So as you can see with this slide, we are letting a variety of projects throughout the state to address bridge capacity, maintenance, and safety issues. The first highlighted project includes all-system safety improvements that primarily consist of shoulder widening at one location in Schley County, which is on Green Road from State Route 153 to US 19. This project has a total length of about 4.2 miles. This next project will resurface I-20 in Douglas County from a length of 7.8 miles. This is an excellent example of our continued commitment to maintaining our existing infrastructure. This project will resurface State Route 400 in Dawson County for a length of 8.8 miles, again, maintaining what we already have as assets. This project will provide signing and striping at 2 off-system locations in Echols County to improve safety in the corridor. The project has a total length of 13.22 miles. This project is phase 2 of the widening of US 441, which is also State Route 15, that goes from south of Pinnacle Drive to Cathy Road. The corridor will be widened to 4 lanes with a raised 20-foot median for a length of 2.8 miles. This project will add shoulders and add or upgrade existing striping and signs on County Road 241, which is Bold Springs Road, to improve safety. The project has a total length of 6.93 miles. This project will construct approximately 2,300 linear feet of streetscape improvements in the downtown area along State Route 11, which is North Broad Street, East Highland Avenue, and North Lumpkin Street in the city of Monroe, Georgia. This project will include audible profiled center line and edge line striping, 2-foot shoulder widening, reflective pavement markings, and signs along Lakeview Road from Statesboro city limits to Old River Road in Bullock County. The project has a total length of 7.56 miles. This project will resurface I-520 in Richmond County for a length of 3.8 miles.
Morning, Madam Chair. Morning, members of the board. I'm here to present the TIA projects for the December letting. The Office of TIA has 6 projects that we are letting. 1 project in the River Valley area, that is River Valley 2, and we have 5 projects that are in CSRA, and those are also the second 10-year period. Cotton Hill Road from State Route 266 in Clay and Randolph County is in Congressional District 2. This project will consist of patching, leveling, resurfacing, and this represents approximately a $3.4 million investment in the River Valley region. This project is about 18 miles. A series of resurfacing projects in Lincoln County, Chamberlain Ferry Road, Colvin Kennedy Road, Mercer Road, Partridge Town Road, and Double Branches Road. All these projects will be bundled together. This represents an investment of just over $4 million in CSRA and will resurface approximately 18.5 miles.
Thank you, Kenneth. So we have 28 projects proposed for the December 2024 letting. 27 are GDOT let and 1 is local let. This chart shows the distribution by improvement types. The estimate of the projects in the December 2024 letting is approximately $179 million. This chart shows the dollar amount distribution by improvement type. I now ask for your consideration for approval of the proposed projects presented for the December 2024 letting.
Our board has heard the December 2024 lettings presented to us. Do I have a motion for approval? Have a motion. Do I have a second? Any comments or questions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes carry. December 2024 lettings are ready to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask Matt Markham, our Deputy Director of Planning, to come forward and give us the revisions to our construction program.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioner. members of the board. I'm pleased to come before you this morning to present proposed revisions to the construction work program. I have one set of revisions for you today. These are for recommended action. There are two revisions, both are deletions, one in Congressional District 9 and one in Congressional District 12. I brought these to you last month for review, and I bring them back before you this month and ask for your favorable consideration. For these revisions, I'd be happy to take any questions.
As you look, we have been given the proposal here for the approval of the deletion of these two projects as they move forward later on. Do I have a motion to so? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Why we removing these?
Matt?
So there are two for separate reasons. One of them, the roundabout program, during the development, preliminary concept development project, it was determined that this specific recommendation was not required for this intersection at the time. The other project is a bridge project and was changed from the recommendation from the bridge office as they reviewed their priority for bridge replacements.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed likewise. The ayes carry it, and so we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
To our Commissioner, Russell McMurray, for our update and the Commissioner's report for the last month.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Looks like we're moving at record pace on this meeting, so I'm going to slow it down. But we will start, as we always do, focusing on our state fund collections from last month, the month of October being closed out, which totaled $199.7 million in collections. Breakdowns about $178 million in excise and roughly $21 to $22 million in transportation fees. That brings us fiscal year to date to $847 million of collections. The majority of that, of course, is excise at $762 million and about $85 million or so in transportation fees. So if you're wondering, how's that doing? We're tracking almost $138 million or right at $138 million ahead this year from comparing to last year. So people are still buying gas and moving around in Georgia, and I'll come back to that in a minute about moving around. So those are good numbers. As it relates to total employment figure, we closed out the month of October at 3,976 full-time employees. We hired 54 employees, and we had 48 separations, so that was a net 6. I'll tell you, it's a lot of work, but net positive is always good on that accounting. I do want to call your attention to, when I would give this update next month, there's a couple of retirements this week that I wanted to call to your attention. Down in District 3, our district construction engineer, Keenan Ford, is retiring, and I think his last day is today, I believe. And he is being replaced by Reuben McCullers. That's going to take his role. And down in District 5, Brian Check, the district construction engineer, is also retiring. And Myra Dean has been selected to replace Brian. So next month we'll have 2 more separations, being Brian and Keenan, and backfill with Myra and Reuben. So certainly glad to, hate to see them go. That's a lot. That's wow. That's easily 60 plus years of experience walking out the door. But created opportunity for Myra and Reuben, who have done a great job and will be great assets in district construction. So just wanted to highlight those and thank them for their service, for Brian and Keenan's service. Let me move into the professional services procurement update. You had a robust report yesterday from Treasury Young, head of our procurement. And as he talked to you yesterday, here's what I report on all their activities and that of our subject matter experts for October. I had 182 professional services contracts valued at $96 million executed. which brings fiscal year to date to 863 contracts valued at $420 million. So, and as Treasury said several times yesterday, you can see him or me about salt stories. We have many salt stories. If you're ever wondered about buying salt in bulk quantity, just ask us about it. We can tell you. All right. Let me move forward now and just talk a little bit about a lot of, several projects that have opened to traffic that we wanted to highlight. Not all projects, but just to highlight a few. And we'll start in Congressional District 10, down in Henry County, GDOT District 3, which is an operational improvement project, just a really short one, right under half a mile on State Route 42, which, as you know, parallels I-75, and this was from Bill Gardner Parkway to Peaksville Road, so right in Locust Grove, a very busy location. C.W. Matthews Contracting Company was the contractor. We opened it up for traffic October 2nd. Represented about a $3.7 million investment of really restriping and getting turn lanes and making things work a lot more efficient in that very busy corridor. And the project was open ahead of schedule. Now we'll jump down to Congressional District 5 and also 13 for a capital maintenance project in Clayton County, which is the GDOT District 7 office. And this was capital maintenance of plant mix resurfacing and milling on State Route 54, from State Route 138 to the Fulton County line, as you can see on the map. E.R. Snell Contracting, or E.R. Snell Contractor Incorporated was the contractor. Represents a $5.5 million investment, capital maintenance investment, and this project also opened ahead of schedule. Now we'll jump up to Congressional District 9 in Gilmer County, GDOT District 6, with a capital bridge investment on a local road. This consisted of replacement of existing bridge on Lower Carter Cay Road over the Carter Cay River in Gilmer County. It's a beautiful trout stream, and that's a very beautiful part of Gilmer County. Today would be a great day to be there. There might be some trout in that area, so I've been told. So this project opened to traffic on October 15th. It represents a $4.4 million investment again on a local road. Again, trying to keep Georgia's bridges in good condition no matter whose roads they're on. And this project also opened ahead of schedule, which is very nice. We'll move in now into Congressional District 12 down in Bullitt County, GDOT District 5. This project consists of construction of a roundabout on Langston Chapel Road at Harville Road there in Bullitt County. This is just right off State Route 67, just below the bypass. A very busy intersection of two county roads that were at actually, I guess, 4 county roads that are at a skew, that were at a very big skew angle. So again, an off-system investment here. The contractor was J.A. Long Incorporated, opened to traffic on October 18th, and it represents a $5.4 million investment. And this project opened ahead of schedule. And Dan, we like to say, when in doubt, roundabout. So, all right. So hopefully that's providing some relief there. All righty. Let me update you now on some things I'm always proud and honored to do is the recognition that our GDOT team members get. And we're going to start this month with several awards, one from the Intelligent Transportation Society of Georgia, or ITS Georgia. ITS Georgia is the state chapter of ITS America, which is the national organization dedicated to advancing research, development, and deployment of intelligent transportation systems on the nation's transportation network. And I'm very proud to be part of that. ITS America serves as a board member at the national level, but this is the Georgia-specific ITS Georgia Awards. And they, every year, recognize a couple things: outstanding people, outstanding projects and organizations that make Georgia the leader in development and deployment of intelligent transportation systems. So GDOT sort of racked up this year and won several awards. And the first one deals with outstanding people. And the Larry R. Dryhop Award is an annual award intended to recognize an individual who's provided a legacy of leadership, professionalism, and dedication to promoting ITS in the state of Georgia throughout the course of their career. It's a great accomplishment, and many of us have known that John Hibbert has been that person for a very long time, so he was recognized as the Larry R. Dryhop Award winner this year. Larry Dryhop was the Federal Highway Administrator here in Atlanta back in the early 90s, who was instrumental in the deployment of the cameras and signs as we were readying for this thing called the 1996 Olympics. So I had the pleasure to know Larry, and that's quite an honor. He was a true consummate professional and dedicated to transportation, and sure I'm proud for John winning this award and for his acknowledgement of what he does. He does a tremendous job in developing people and imparting his knowledge of transportation systems operations in ITS. So I think John is here. If John would stand up, we'll recognize you, John. That wasn't much of a stand-up, John. That's John. All right. But wait, there's more from ITS Georgia. Also, Georgia DOT District 6 office, in partnership with AECOM, won the Best Use of Existing ITS Technologies category for its blocked railroad crossing response plan in Cartersville, because Jeff gets blocked by the train in Cartersville, evidently. So the blocked railroad crossing response plan has saved motorists time and frustration up in Cartersville by the installation of those signs that just simply give you advance notice when the train's blocking the tracks. And so people can then reroute when they're coming through downtown. They're not only, warn the motorists that the train's in the area, but also can point to alternative routes so that you don't get stuck. And congratulations to Grant Waldrop up at District 6 and the traffic signal team for working and making sure that this could happen and winning this award. So again, sometimes it's not super high technology that can make a big difference. A huge benefit to cost if you just get that signal, you know in advance. And of course, we've deployed this in some other areas around the state as well, which makes a big difference. All right. Now we'll move into ITS Small Project of Significance Award, and this goes to the Office of Traffic Operations for the Wrong Way Driving Alert System. And so obviously wrong way driving is a significant event and something we do not want to happen. And so the ITS Small Project Award was based on the work that the Traffic Operations Office has done on our express lane systems, our reversible express lane systems. And so as you know, time of day depends on which way the express lanes are working. So sometimes you enter a ramp to get in the express lanes and they're going one direction, and a later time they may be going a different direction. So that makes motorists to have to pay attention to when they're getting in the express lanes, that they're getting in the right direction. So basically the deployment of the wrong way driver alert system included sensors and blank out signs and using cameras and communications equipment at 2 locations on the express lane system, which has resulted in self-correcting wrong way drivers. And we've seen that correction by over half. So by having this technology deployed, we're getting the message and making sure, reinforcing that somebody's going the wrong way faster and getting people to correct their actions before they get too far. Now, as you know, when on the reversible express lanes, there are barriers and gates. So if you get too far, you're still going to run into a gate or a barrier. But we're just trying to keep people from even making the wrong turn to begin with. So congratulations to Alan Davis and the traffic operations team. I think Alan is here. So if Alan and your team, if you'd stand up, we'll recognize you as well. But wait, there's more. For 1999. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the last recognition by Georgia, ITS Georgia, is to the Office of Alternative Delivery. This is for design build projects in collaboration with the Traffic Operations Office for the ITS Large Project of Significance, awarded to GDOT's broadband project, which was the subject of Andrew Heath's presentation to you yesterday to the P3 committee. So it was acknowledged again as ITS large project of significance, and you know why it's significant based on Andrew's presentation yesterday of what this means to deploying broadband across Georgia's 1,400 miles of interstates. So I want to congratulate all the winners for Georgia ITS, for ITS Georgia for 2024. I hope they let us come back next year because I think we may have swept almost everything. So congratulations, and again, it goes to show with leadership like from John Hibbert and from Meg and across the department, our focus on collaboration and innovation, and having our team members to be able to be innovative and collaborate to accomplish great things. So it's nice to be recognized for that externally. Let me move away now from ITS Georgia and update you that back in September, the National Association of State Aviation Officials, NASO, held its 2024 meeting. So AASHTO's the transportation, surface transportation. NASO is like AASHTO, but just for aviation. And so their annual meeting had about 380 attendees, so a large meeting. And their annual meeting has state aviation leaders that come together like AASHTO does to discuss current industry issues and collect and share ideas from each other and engage with other airport and aviation industry experts to gain knowledge. We like to call it R&D, which is rip off and duplicate. And so that's what we like to do. That's still a great idea. So our Office of Intermodal was there and won the Most Innovative State Program Award for its Airport Obstruction Identification Program. Now, if you're like me, the word airport and obstruction shouldn't be said in the same sentence. Those don't go together. So what this award was for is basically using technology, using drones and LiDAR to identify all the obstructions on the approach and departure from the runways such that airports can be in compliance with federal aviation regulations for safety. So this has sped things up tremendously, so they can do so much more with using technology than they ever could before with visual and survey and things like that. So you can identify trees or towers or built environment much quicker and easier and much more accurately as well by using technology. So this was why they won the award. So congratulations to Clement Solomon. He is the third from the left on the front row there, and they won a medal. So that's awesome. We won the gold medal. We'll claim it. I'm not sure if it's gold or not, but we'll claim gold medal. So congratulations to the Intermodal Office and Aviation Division for that. Well, September and October were busy months. So earlier, just a month or so ago, GDOT was partner and hosted the AASHTO Transcom Award and the Transcom annual meeting. That stands for the Committee on Transportation Communications. We have to abbreviate everything, and it was held here in Atlanta. So our Office of Strategic Communications worked closely with AASHTO and the Transcom committees to promote this event. And of course, the purpose of the event is, again, R&D, learn from each other, instill those good ideas, and deploy it. So the Transcom committee is made up of public affairs professionals from all the 50 states plus D.C. and Puerto Rico. And Georgia DOT was really proud to welcome all of those. We had 42 states in attendance, so that's a great representation, and also a record number of attendees as well. Strategic communications team played a huge role in creating the event, from doing presentations at the general and plenary sessions to participating in a lot of breakout events. And one of those breakout events, I'm not sure if it was breakout, it might have been during the general session, was our own Natalie Dale hosted the Atlanta TV reporters and radio reporters on a panel. And it was awesome to see because she had the who's who of the traffic teams, folks from WSB, TV, media, and they were able to have a roundtable discussion about what the media needs from DOTs to do their job. And so to have that perspective of working together was fantastic. And I applaud Natalie and the whole team for pulling together such an expert panel. I've actually heard from my peers around the nation that how important that was for their communications folks to have that kind of insight to media, people in the media. So just congratulations for what they've done. But not only did they host, we won an award as well. So won the Transcom Skills Award for our Public Awareness Events category. The award was due to our Georgia DOT's Safe Driving Summits, of which you all have participated in. I know Dan just participated in one this week, I believe, in Dublin. So, again, national recognition for what we're doing as it relates to the Safe Driving Summit partnership with Let's See 43. So, they do recognize the best of the best. So congratulations to Strategic Communications for their continued work and really making a difference. So I'm glad that we were able to host in our fine GDOT hospitality. Everybody enjoyed being in Atlanta then. All right. Yesterday, you heard a report about vulnerable road users and focusing on safety. And safety is always on our mind. It's our number one priority. It's our number one priority of all that we do. And this week, in fact, is First Responder Safety Week. And unfortunately, just yesterday, 2 police officers were hit while working a crash on 285 with lights on, lane blocked, and a truck never even slowed down, plowed into them. And they're okay. The 2 officers are okay, but it's just an example of how dangerous it is to be on the road. Even with blue lights going, somebody still runs right into them at 5 a.m. in the morning. It was a major traffic incident yesterday, so if you were on the south side on 285, I'm sorry, but that's why it took hours to get through that. You just heard the presentation from Albert to the projects to be bid. You saw how many local county roads that we're doing safety projects on, again, using data-driven decisions to where to invest on traffic safety to try to, again, drive down deaths on Georgia's roadways. And again, a great presentation yesterday on vulnerable road users, again, focusing on the systemic approach, but also data-driven approaches to where to make investments. This focus on safety is so important. So last year, as a reminder, we had 1,666 deaths on Georgia's roadways, which is 1,666 too many. As of this morning, our total is 1,249 deaths on Georgia's roadways, which is tracking about 15% below where we were this time last year. But I remind you that we're going into the high season, and we unfortunately, historically, see an upswing in fatalities, especially as we get closer to the end of the year. That's not unusual or different than what other states are dealing with as well. So just last month, AASHTO held the 2024 Safety Summit in Peer Exchange, and we had several people go to attend because, again, we come together as a nation to focus on transportation and safety. And so how do we work together? And this summit also had not only public owners, but private, academia, and even medical to come together to focus on what can we do differently, how do we continue to innovate and continue to focus on safety. And so it was really a great summit. I was not able to go. We had the board meeting. This was when the board meeting was going on. But we had several people attend. We had our Director of Engineering, Chris Rudd, in attendance. Sam Harris, who you've seen before here many times, is our Assistant State Traffic Engineer. Kelly Roberts, who's been here to present on safety before. She's our State Safety Engineer. Scott Higley, our Director of Communications, Strategic Communications, was there. And he was there, and he was also also a big hit because he presented on the Keep Georgia Safe K through 12 classroom curriculum that you were presented on. And I'm telling you, that this work that Georgia led on with We Are Teachers is spreading across the nation. Scott has had multiple states reach out to him, coordinate that so that K through 12 curriculum can be built in state-specific opportunities. again, to educate our kids as early as we can about traffic safety. It's a wonderful program. I think we get them all hooked on Schoolhouse Rock, and those kind of things, and that education part of that is just amazing. So Scott was privileged, and it was a real honor for him to speak there. So as you can see, a lot of people, about 500 people from around the country, focused on safety, and we've got to continue to focus on safety. Now let me move forward, and as I informed you last month at our meeting, unfortunately, we lost a good friend and colleague with the passing of Markel Elder. And among the many responsibilities Markel held in his more than 8 years with GDOT, he was a constant presence right behind the glass there in the AV booth and in the board and committee meetings each month. You ran into him often here in the boardroom. He was certainly an extraordinary professional and a really positive presence. When you got to know Markel, he was just so positive. And he's really had an impact on our IT department and the whole organization. You know, wherever you ran into Markel, he was happy and smiling and glad to talk to you. He actually joined GDOT back in 2016 and served as the audio video technician until he passed last month at the age of 65. He grew up and was educated in Valdosta and Tallahassee and graduated from the Walter F. George High School in Atlanta in 1977. He joined the Army and was in the Army and left with honors when he departed the Army. Extremely proud of his service to his country and his military career. He was also a member of the Grace Baptist Church and the men's ministry of the church as a greeter. I know Markel was a great greeter. I mean, so what a great legacy there. And if you didn't know by the caps he wore, he was a loyal Atlanta Falcons fan, and that's hard to do. But Markel, and Markel was one though. Believe me, he had some really nice caps, Falcons caps. Markel left behind a wife of 24 years, Margaret, as well as his 5 children and 13 grandkids, and obviously a extended family. Markel loved working at GDOT, and it showed. He truly enjoyed working and interacting with everybody, especially during board meetings, and just really a good friend. And so I know we did this last month. If you will, just join me in a moment of silence, and we'll think about our friend Markel. Thank you very much. One thing I do want to note is the heroic efforts of many people here at GDOT of responding to Markel, specifically Sharon Morales, who administers CPR, and many members of HR and IT team here was taking care of Markel, trying to serve him and take care of him until the emergency responders could get here. So I just want to acknowledge their effort, especially that of Sharon Morales, for her valiant efforts. And it's just amazing to see again how people rally and come together in time of need to serve and try to help. So, all righty. Let's move into something that happens next week. A week from today, in fact. It's the Thanksgiving travel forecast. And so AAA has reported already that this is a high travel year of over 80 million people traveling across the nation. I think they have over 2.1 million Georgians traveling on the roads over the holiday week. And again, using technology, we've been able to do a lot of things and share a lot of information about when to travel. I always call it the turkey chart, and we don't have it here, but we usually show some infographics of turkeys. And so we don't want you to be a turkey on travel day, meaning all the state routes and interstates are going to be clogged with everybody traveling over the Thanksgiving week. So we anticipate traffic to be heavier than normal, starting 5 a.m. on Wednesday. going all the way through about 10 o'clock. And then again on Sunday, heavy traffic as people come back and from wherever they've been. So just as a reminder, we will suspend construction from Wednesday through Sunday as well. And again, let me look at my notes to get the right dates here. We do expect traffic to really start picking up on the Monday afternoon, the 25th. Again, Wednesday, the highest travel days. And of course, you all know about Black Friday sales and things like that. So expect that to be still busy around malls and those areas. So in the peak congestion, Sunday is somewhere between 5 and 8 p.m. on Sunday. So don't be the turkey and be on the roads between that time. So I will, again, commend our traffic operations team and strategic communications for taking data, historical data, predictive modeling, and being able to come up with a forecast so that you can know before you go. Always remember, use your 511 app or your other apps to plan before you leave. Oh, there's the turkey chart. I'm sorry. So that's what you need to know, and we'll put this on social media and get this out so people know when not to travel. And then, just in conclusion, again, a week from the day, it's Thanksgiving, and so I think it's always important to stop and give thanks for all the great things we have in our lives. I'm very thankful personally for the women and men of GDOT who do such a fine job, as represented by all the awards given today, but that's only a handful of all the commitment. You saw the presentation yesterday on hurricane cleanup, flood cleanup, and the commitment and dedication is just unparalleled of the women and men of GDOT, and for that, I am truly thankful. So, Madam Chair, this concludes my report. Be glad to take any questions or comments.
That was a great report, Commissioner. Anybody with comments and questions to our Commissioner? Wonderful information, and we want to say how excited and proud we are of the representation that we have here at GDOT for various committees and for meeting with the objective of showcasing what Georgia is all about. And our GDOT folks certainly do a good job at that. So thank you and everyone here at GDOT throughout the state of Georgia.
Thank you.
Now we move forward to board action that might need to be taken. Jeff Lewis is with the P3 committee, and he will make some remarks, and I think Andrew Heath is going to come forward.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll hold off on reading the P3 committee report until after we've had a chance to hear from Andrew Heath, our Deputy Chief Engineer, to give us a brief review of what he presented yesterday and to be available for any additional questions that we may have. So, Andrew?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lewis and members of the board. As was just alluded to yesterday, I provided a presentation to the P3 committee providing an update of the department's broadband program, what we've been up to over the last few years, covered the broadband operate, maintain, and commercialize project and the agreement, walked through the procurement process that we have been following over the last year, and revealed the apparent best value proposer for that selection. The P3 committee did, in fact, vote to recommend to the full board to approve the award to the apparent best value proposer. I'm back here this morning to seek full board approval to award to this contract to the apparent best value proposer and approve the project agreement. So just very quickly, I talked through this yesterday. This is the timeline of the procurement that we've undertaken, initiating back in November of 2023 with the RFQ, moving into the RFP process through the summer, receiving proposals late summer, and now here we are in November seeking approval to award this contract to the apparent best value proposer. As I alluded to, we conducted a very robust P3 procurement considering both technical and financial criteria through this proposal. You can see some of those listed here, and I walked through those yesterday. And now here this morning, here I am seeking approval from the full State Transportation Board to award to the apparent best value proposer. This was revealed yesterday, but as a reminder, here is the result of the procurement with the apparent best value proposer. Again, the lead OMC contractor being Plenary Broadband Infrastructure with equity members, Plenary Americas, U.S. Holdings, and TKO Star Infra, with a nominated subcontractor of Tilson Technology Management. So this is the organizational chart of the OMC contractor. So my requested action, Madam Chair, if I may, to seek State Transportation Board approval to award to the apparent best value proposer and approve the project agreement based on the determination that the proposal provided the apparent best value with contract terms that are most satisfactory and advantageous to the state.
Thank you, Andrew. And at this time, before I read the report, I'd ask, is there any committee or any board members that may have a question of Andrew as it relates to this? Seeing none, well, Madam Chair, I will now read the P3 committee report and follow that up with a motion. The P3 committee convened on November 20th, 2024 at 2:11 p.m. Board members present included Vice Chair Key, Lewis, Snipes, Boswell, Purcell, McIntyre, Williams, Brown, Thompson, Golden, Dunn, and Gravely. First order of business, Andrew Heath, Deputy Chief Engineer, provided an update on the department's broadband program. He explained how the program is comprised of two key components. One, multiple design-build projects to build broadband infrastructure on interstates. And two, to operate, maintain, and commercialize P3 agreement to maintain and drive value from the infrastructure. Andrew walked through the procurement process undertaken to select an OMC entity and revealed the apparent best value proposer from that process. Committee actions, Vice Chair Stacy Key asked for a motion to approve the selection of the best value proposer for the OMC P3 project. I made a motion to approve, seconded by Dan Snipes, and it was unanimously approved. The committee adjourned at 2:33 p.m., and this concludes my report. And now, Madam Chair, I'll now make a motion to the full board to approve the selection of the best value proposer for the OMC P3 project.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second. Any questions? Any remarks? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed likewise. The ayes carry. We're excited about the program, and thank you, Andrew, and the team for everything that you have done to put this in place and continue to push it forward.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to ask the Vice Chair of our Administrative Committee if he will give the report, Micah, for administration.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Administrative Committee convened on November 20th, 2024 at 1:30 p.m. Board members present included Chairman Kurt Thompson, Micah Gravely, Robert Brown, Kathy Williams, Tim Golden, Ann Purcell, Jamie Boswell, Dennis McIntyre, Stacy Key, Emily Dunn, Jeff Lewis, Dan Snipes, and Dana Lemon. The order of business was Treasury Young, our Chief Procurement Officer, provided an update on the activities of the Office of Procurement and its support of fulfilling the mission of GDOT. He discussed the organization of the office and the methods used to procure and purchase commodities and services. With FY24 having ended on June 30th, 2024, he also provided an update on the total purchases totaling $1.2 billion made through the end of FY24, including all engineering and design-related services. Operational services, including administrative needs, routine maintenance, and those needed to support daily operations. The committee's actions were that the committee took no action, and the committee adjourned at 1:53 p.m. This concludes my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Our Legislative Committee, our Committee Chair, Dan Snipes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The Legislative Committee convened on November the 20th, 2024 at 1:54 p.m. Board members present included myself and Mr. Thompson, Mr. Boswell, Mr. Gravely, Mr. Golden, Ms. Dunn, Ms. Purcell, Mr. McIntyre, Ms. Williams, Mr. Brown, Ms. Key, Mr. Lewis, and Ms. Lemon. The order of business was that Joshua Waller, the Department's Director of Policy and Government Affairs, provided a state and federal legislative update following the recent general election. He highlighted the T-SPLOST results for the 11 counties that had elections and the newly elected members of the Georgia General Assembly. Additionally, Josh presented the proposed 2025 legislative agenda for later consideration at the December board meeting and provided an update on the federal continuing resolution, which expires on December the 20th. No actions were taken in this committee. The committee adjourned at 2:10 p.m., and this concludes my report.
Thank you so much. Now for the committee of the whole. The committee of the whole convened yesterday at 2:34 p.m. Our board members present, including myself, Boswell, McIntyre, Williams, Brown, Key, Thompson, Golden, Dunn, Lewis, Snipes, and Gravy. Our first order of business was from Emily Fish that provided us an update on the current emergency operations that the department is responding to, including Hurricane Debbie, Hurricane Helene, the flooding that occurred in early November. She also provided an update about the 2024 winter weather preparations. Our second order of business came from our state safety engineer supervisor, Ron Nikovich, who also updated us on the vulnerable roadway users and our safe systems program that is underway. Under the bipartisan infrastructure law, the states must develop this vulnerable roadway user safety assessment to address rising pedestrian and bicyclist fatalities. The Georgia's plan highlights 3 elements. 1, a shift to a systematic network-level approach through statistics such as mid-block pedestrian crossings analysis on all bus stop systems and network-level roadway reconfiguration scans. Prioritizing number 2, proactive safety measures by recognizing that individual crashes and complaint data may not fully capture the broader VRU risks. 3rd, maintaining a data-driven focus by using predictive models and near-miss analysis to address VRU's safety efficiency. There was no action taken by the committee, and the committee adjourned at 3:22, and this concludes that report. At this time, I would ask if there's any new business to be taken up by our board. Yes, sir.
I don't have any new business. I just want to take a moment and publicly thank you for all you did to make our trip to Savannah so successful.
Amen.
The hotel and the restaurant venues were all excellent. The leadership from Savannah made us all feel special and welcome. Visiting the Hyundai plant, I think this is Georgia's largest economic development project ever. Of course, the Port of Savannah made it crystal clear to me that we as a state and as a department have our work cut out for us, figuring out how to take care of all the continued growth. So also thank Dent. I'm not sure what he did to help you, but I'm sure he had the opportunity to listen to you talk about it for 2 months before we got down there. But it was a great trip. I know Mr. Gravely has talked about maybe getting us to Rome. I hope he works that out sometime. But you set the bar real high for anybody that wants to plan a trip somewhere. So thank you so much for all you did.
Well, I thank you and the board members for attending because we had a wonderful turnout. And as far as I was concerned, I enjoyed having in the host city of the state of Georgia and Savannah, the GDOT board. So thank you for each one of you being there and for our GDOT team also being present. It is a huge circle of events, no matter what we do, whether we're here in Atlanta or we're visiting on site in another area to learn a little bit more about each area of our state of Georgia. Also want to thank Kristen for being there, to be so prompt in helping us make sure that we all met the time clock as it went around. But we were delighted to welcome you to our city. I also want to bring up a couple of things. We know that we have a lot of things that we heard in the commissioner's report today, but a couple of the things that we did not hear in his report is that we need some recognition to some of our board members here, as well as some individuals that represent us here at GDOT. And I just want to bring to light to you that we had in the Georgia Trend, Georgia 500, most influential people in Georgia, We had two of our board members recognized in this edition, and that was Robert Brown for being a living legend, and also to Stacy Key with her involvement with economic development through her business. Also want to say that we had two individuals recognized here at GDOT, and that was Janine Miller, recognized in transportation and logistics, and we were very proud of that. But also, we're tremendously proud because our commissioner was also recognized within this 500 influential people and leaders within our state of Georgia. He too for transportation and logistics. So we're very pleased to have those individuals recognized, and I did not want to let that slide by today. Also, I know that the commissioner doesn't like to brag on himself, but I wanted to bring out to you something very important. He, for the first time and in his family, they have a grandchild.
All right.
He was born last Saturday. A precious master, Cade Averett McMurray. And we are excited about that, and congratulations to you and Michelle and the proud mom and dad. Now, there's one other announcement that I want to make. This is, I think, very, very important to us as a state organization because we have such good leaders all throughout our GDOT family. Everyone is a leader in some respect, and our commissioner is no exception. I'm very proud to announce to you that at the Board of Directors of the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, known to many of us as AASHTO, we're honored and privileged that we have a gentleman that was unanimously voted by the Board of Directors to serve as the 2024-2025 Vice President of AASHTO. What a prestigious thing that we have in our commissioner. And I wanted to say thank you for him showcasing our Georgia Department of Transportation all over the world, and for this pure example of what you mean to others outside of this organization, but particularly for the Georgia Department of Transportation is super important to us. Russell, thank you. And as I also look back, I wanted to remind our board and those that get online, listen to our broadcast live, and as well as those that are attending today, that our December meeting will be moved up by a week. We voted on this back several months ago. So our December meeting will be on Wednesday for our committee meetings. Those committee meetings will begin as normal at 1:30 that afternoon. On December the 12th, on Thursday, will be our regular board meeting, and that will begin at 9 a.m. So hopefully I see each and every one of you there, and I also want to extend to you, and as well as the entire board, and our board extends it to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, safe travels, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. With that, we stand adjourned.
Hear, hear.
I hope you didn't mind. Look at this. I didn't have time to write it out.